Coming up, you're going to discover 5 killer reasons you need to soft launch your app. Stay tuned. What is up, beautiful App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.co. And in this video, I'm going to share with you, it's pulled directly from our new course about how to soft launch and set yourself up for optimal success. That's in the App Masters Academy. But in this module, we talk about 5 key reasons why you need to soft launch, okay? There's simple reasons, and in the upcoming video, I'm gonna share with you ways that you can soft launch without actually building anything. The number one challenge app developers are facing today, like today, and then why it's so stinking important to make sure you get your features right and your usability right before you do your worldwide release. Okay, all that's coming up in this upcoming module, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's get into it. What is a soft launch? What? I'm sure you know what it is, but I want to go through. I hope you stay with me, even if you know what it is, because I want to tell you about some of the importance of a soft launch and my philosophy on it. Hopefully that will help you really take your time with a soft launch. Now, I'm not a proponent of doing things too slowly. I'm all about speed, but it's a good balance of speed and slowness. So, you gotta have to have that balance. Otherwise, I think going too fast, you might set yourself up for failure or not for success. And if you go too slow, you're gonna try to make it too perfect and just never end up launching. So you have to have that balance. But without further ado, let's get into this. All right, here's my philosophy on things is no one wants this. Like, this is my biggest fear whenever I'm thinking about a new project or a new company or new business idea. Nobody wants this. And I feel like you need that type of paranoia to make sure that you do things right and slowly, properly. Not slowly, but just properly. Like, set yourself up for success. Oh, do a soft launch. Maybe talk to some people, gauge some. So I'm going to share with you my tactics for doing this, but that's my number one fear, right? And guess what, guys? Here's the number one challenge facing app publishers. What do you think it is? Marketing. Look at 43% of people said it's marketing, right? Like, whoa, it's not development anymore, only 17%. It's not design. And this is the key thing, actually. Let me take a step back. Look at how the challenging aspect of this, and that's from Business Insider, and InMobi did this actual chart and study. But think about this. Before, as developers, as creators, our mindset is completely opposite of this chart. Meaning, forget the first 3, but look at development. That's what we would think. Oh man, I gotta get this developed. I gotta get this created, right? Your mind share is done on development and less on design, and definitely less on marketing, right? Because I get so many people who say, look, I made this app, Steve, like this is so great. Now I'm ready to launch it. Can you please help me? And I'm like, how much money do you have? I just literally talked to somebody about this. He said, oh, well, I've spent tens of thousands on this, like 5 figures. He wouldn't tell me exactly. I'm like, look, dude, is spending just $1,000, because that's what he said he had left that he wanted to spend. Is that in line with you spending tens of thousands of dollars launching this app? Like, is that enough for you to feel like there's enough to give it some potential for success, right? And I think that's why I love this chart so much. It's like our mindset is completely, mine isn't, but most people's are completely flipped. And it should be, I'm more focused on marketing and design and less on development. That's why on the podcast and on these courses, I don't even talk about making it, because I feel like that's the easy part. Okay. All right. Here's why you should soft launch. You got to get those early users. Okay. It is so stinking important to get those early users. And guess what? You don't actually have to build anything. Okay. You don't have to build anything. I'm going to go with you some details. I'm going to share with you some details on how you can get like a prototype together without you having to write a line of code, without you having to be like, I have an idea. Where do I find a developer? No, no, no. Slow down, cowboy. I'm going to show you what you can do before then. All right. So here, use a site called InVision. N-I-N Vision. Create a functional prototype. If you got some design skills, great. Put some designs together. If you don't, there are templates out there, and I'm going to show with you too. But create a functional prototype so you can say, hey guys, can I show you my app real quick? Great. And just hand your phone to somebody else, and it will act like it's a real, what am I trying to say? A real app, right? So if it's a game, unfortunately, you can't do it. But if it's a non-game, you can literally do that, right? And just to see where people are pushing, like, oh, that's a really cool idea. Oh, I really like the designs. Oh, I really like this, right? All you can do is create a functional prototype. And even the creator of Color Switch, David Reichelt, he said in BuildBox, now he taught himself how to use BuildBox, but he created a functional prototype. He didn't spend hours and hours. He said, look, what can I get done in a couple of hours and just make something functional and see if there's really something to this. So spend a little bit. If you want to spend some money developing it, you don't know how to code, okay, just spend a little bit on a functional prototype. You don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars making the app because making the app is expensive. You can use Keynote as well. Just Google. This is all I literally did. I know people have done it already, and I've tried to find one for Google Slides. But just Google how to demo an iOS prototype in Keynote. Because Keynote, you can point different things, and even PowerPoint or Google Slides, you can say, hey, this button goes over to this slide. And that's all you got to do. It's that stinking simple, right? It is that stinking simple. Next, WordPress. So you're like, hey, I've got this idea for an app that's like a magazine or something else that's more content driven, or even e-commerce platform. There's a site called AppPresser, past guest of the podcast, and they use WordPress. They plug into your WordPress and they make an app out of your WordPress site. So there are ways to do this without you spending a whole lot of money. AppPresser's like a few $100. And lastly, what you can do too is create a blog post. This is what I did now, mind you, I already had the app ready to go, and this was part of my pre-launch marketing strategy, but I wrote a blog post on Medium because I knew that it could potentially go viral, and it did. I said, hey, Apple, I just fixed your camera app. How I discovered my inner Steve Jobs while trying to take a picture of my newborn daughter. Now, I love these headlines. I had to look back on this like, oh, I love that. Because one, I said, hey, Apple, that's going to get people's attention. I just fixed your camera app, right? Like, hello, I'm intrigued already. And then I love the subtitle, how I discovered my inner Steve Jobs while trying to take a picture of my newborn daughter, right? Like, I'm using these big names to like personalize it as well, okay? And look, I'm taking credit for this, all right? But I did literally fix the iPhone camera app. And here's what I said in the blog post. If you read through it, if you just search for that, Medium Plus, you can read through the whole blog post. But I had screenshots. This is a section of this. I said, what? And if you look at your iPhone camera app right now, you'll know that this is fixed. But I said, why is the flash and why is the selfie, the flipping the camera, so far away from actually taking the photo? Everybody's taking photos now. This is like 2016 as well. Everybody's taking selfies, right? Like, why aren't they closer together? Why are they so separated? And that was my big thing. And I think that there's a lot of great points in there. Guess what happened from this blog post? I got 100+ emails from people who I said, if you think I'm wrong, go check out my website or send me an email, right? And they went to my website, and on the website, it had this little form for email. So I wasn't even asking for emails. They put in their email address, and I had 100+ people emails ready to go when I was about to launch, right? So, and I was very scrappy. So that form, all it did was emailed me who signed up, that person's email address. It didn't even go into like a MailChimp or anything else, all right? I was pretty lazy. I was just like, let me see if this works. I didn't think anybody would sign up, but it went viral, and then I got it. Now I had to figure out a way to just grab those email addresses and put them into a spreadsheet, which was very easy, right? I just sent it to my VA in India. It's like, hey, can you look at this? Put it into a spreadsheet. All right. The other thing you can do is gauge their reaction. This is one of my favorite things to do, actually. I like to tell people my ideas and see how they react. Do they react like this? Or do they react like this? Right? And so when I was beta testing my app, OSnap, that I just wrote, hey, Apple, I just fixed your camera app, I would just gauge people's reactions. I'd be like, hey guys, I've got this camera app. It's completely gesture based. All you got to do is tap anywhere on the screen to take a photo. And they're like, oh, that's cool. But I was like, look, and if you shake it, it flips the camera. Like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I was like, that's where I knew that I had something, right? Just by gauging the reaction. Did they give me, oh, that's cool, where they did when I said tap anywhere, take a picture. But when I shook the phone in front of them and it flipped onto them and they got to see themselves like, whoa, that was really cool. I knew to lead off with that. Guess what I did? I led off with it. And because I did the pre-launch marketing as well with that blog post, I was able to get press on the next web. And I did great for sales because it was a paid app, completely paid. Okay, this was 2014, okay? These strategies would still work today, I'm telling you. All right, the next thing you want to make sure why you want to soft launch too is you want to test out your features. You want to be very, you have an idea. Is it true? Okay, so I'm going to go back to my example with Jonas. Remember, he's like, Steve, got to get this launched. Got to get this launched. And we soft launched this, and we'll go into how we did it on Touch Arcade as well for you. So you can see this forum post back in 2016. It's still up there, so you can kind of copy the idea if you want. But Jonas is giving out a ton of money. As you can see, like sometimes I only give out $100, but he's giving out $700. Like that's getting people's attention. But anyways, we did this in Touch Arcade, and guess what happened? We got somebody that actually said, hey, is there any chance you'd implement a single player offline mode versus an AI? So you can still play when your internet connection is not so great. He actually, Jonas, I don't think he'll mind me telling you this, but he actually didn't have single player mode because he wanted to make sure that you can play against your friends. That's why I said, Jonas, you got to slow down because it's a social game. You got to soft launch this. And these are the features that you figured out, right? So you got to be very careful about this stuff. You think you have the right idea, but it's not until you get it out into the wild that people start coming back with you type of thing, with this type of thing, right? Look, the guy loves the app. He said, this is a really great idea. And it's really good when he's played it, but he needed that single player mode too, right? So you gotta test those features. And the last thing I'll mention is usability. Do your users know how to use your app? Right? It's that simple. One of my biggest pet peeves I gotta tell you guys is people saying, hey, Steve, I got this new app. And they're like, here's how you do it. Here's how you go here, you go there. It's like, dude, hand me your phone. Let me see how to do it, right? Because it is so, you know it because it's your app, but I don't know it. And you can get some valuable information from seeing where I tap, where I'm going, where my eye is going. Do I really understand how to use your app, right? Do I really understand how to play your game, okay? So that is so stinking important. And we're gonna show you how to get those type of valuable user feedbacks. If you're a little shy and you don't wanna show anybody your app, or you feel like you're in some deserted part of the world, and I'm gonna show you an affordable way to do that as well. Okay, and the one thing next, coming up in the next module, so pay attention to this, is the one thing you better not forget. It's a short video, but it's so stinking critical when you're actually going for your real launch, okay? So the one thing you better not forget, that's gonna be there on the next module. So I'll see you, it's a quick video. Be there, I'll see you there. I'm back. All right, awesome or what, right? The number one challenge facing app publishers is marketing. So you don't wanna spend all this money making it and have little money in terms of making it a success with marketing. So if you want full access to this new soft launch course, you're only gonna get it through the App Masters Academy. So go check it out. It's one low monthly stinking price. It's $49. You get hours upon hours of great content from yours truly, me, and other people in my network who teach you step by step how to do the exact thing, from an Apple feature to our ASO process to Facebook ads to anything you can imagine. You're gonna find it under App Masters Academy. And if you want this dandy of a module forever in your arsenal, and you want to get the full soft launch course, once again, it is appmastersacademy.com. And I will see you on the next video.